Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Medela Singapore and Medela Malaysia's Facebook live streaming. I'm your host, Shameen. So, remember that our live shows are streamed live on our Facebook page every week. It's either Wednesday or Thursday, depending on the date and time. So, do like and follow us on our Medela Singapore and Medela Malaysia Facebook page and Instagram to get updates on when these live streaming are and what the topics will be and who our guest speakers will be. So right now, do like and share now to stand a chance to win a mystery prize. So the three 150 ml bottle. So do like and share, and we'll choose three winners who will be announced at the end of this live show. And also, we'll be having a quiz of three questions. So the fastest answer wins the prize. There's also a Medela breast pump trial program at our PJ Service Center in KL. Pregnant mummies will be able to try and feel the freestyle and freestyle flex. And currently, breastfeeding mummies, you'll be able to actually try the freestyle and freestyle flex to see how it feels when you pump your breast milk out and before you actually decide to buy. So do book your time. There's limited appointments a day, so two appointments a day only. So either WhatsApp, call, or drop a message in Medela Malaysia's Facebook page, and we'll get in touch with you on your appointment timing and date. So joining me today is Dr. Chin Wai Song, consultant pediatrician again. So we're so excited to have him to come and share with us more about today's topic is about breastfeeding that supports good gut health. So Dr. Chin has shared previously um, in a Mandarin session. So I believe today would be in English. So we'll be having a quiz later. So do stay tuned and keep an eye and listen out to his presentation because he is very insightful and entertaining. So he'll be sharing a lot of good tips for you to take home, and we'll be asking you questions, three questions regarding his presentation. So do pay attention. And if you have any questions or comments during our show, please feel free to leave a comment in the live comment and we'll address it along the way or at the end of the presentation with Dr. Chin. So, over to you, Dr. Chin. Welcome on stage.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Shamin.
Hi, Dr. Chin.
Hi, good
Looking
evening
very
to all the
twice
parents.
today.
And I first of all, thank you so much, Medela, giving me this opportunity to share with parents about this breast milk. How does breast milk bring the benefit to the gut health? All right. I hope the last section, which I taught in Mandarin 2 weeks ago, the benefits of the breast milk. So today I won't repeat the same thing. I'm sure every one of us, right, believe this best gift that you give to your baby since day one of life is your breast milk. It contains so many ingredients that boost the health and growth of your babies. So today I will focus more how does the gut, yeah, in our human contribute to the general well-being of the children. All right. So first of all, let me share my slide first. And you don't expect me going to talk a lot of medical terms in this presentation. Yeah, I will rather more on the storytelling style and let you know that our gut, in fact, do more than what you have expected. Okay, wait. All right, share screen, application. Mm-hmm. 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 I think something wrong. Wait. Yes, Shamin, can you see my slide? Hi, Samin.
Yep, we can.
Okay, can I proceed?
Yes, go ahead. Thank you.
All right, so today's topic, breastfeeding supports good gut health. Okay, today's highlights. Breast milk contents. I'll briefly go through the breast milk content, which I already mentioned 2 weeks ago. Then I will particularly emphasize on the prebiotics and probiotics that contain in our breast milk. I'm sure a lot of parents will later, hopefully, will get more insight about the pre and probiotic. Of course, I have a lot of parents ask me, should I supplement the child with the pre and probiotic or not? All right. Then how and what our human gut do for our general health? Not to mention about digestion, this absorption. There are so many other things that you might not know that our human gut do a lot of things for us. Then we have a gut as a second brain. That's another not that new, but I would like to share with parents that now a lot of study going on, research going on between the gut and the brain. How do they communicate? All right. Signs of an unhealthy gut. And of course, finally, how do these prebiotics and probiotics bring the health benefit to our human body? Breast milk contain. Yep. So just to highlight, which I mentioned earlier on 2 weeks ago, it has the antimicrobial factors. Like for example, you all should know the antibody, white cell, bioactive factors. All these protect the baby, right, since day one of life. And it has also some bioactive, we call anti-inflammatory factors. That's why breastfed babies, right, it reduces the risk of these allergy diseases. Okay, it reduces the asthma, eczema, and so on. Iron binding factor, although the iron content in the breast milk is a bit low as compared to cow's milk, but it has the lactoferrin, this kind of protein bioactive factor to bind the iron, increase the iron absorption in the gut. You must know iron is very important for your babies, not only for the red blood cell synthesis, the making of red blood cell, it also enhance the growth of the bone, promote the growth of your child. DHA is a main ingredient in the nerve cell in our brain, right? Enhance the growth of the nerve, central nervous system for the hearing, vision, and the brain development. Enzyme for the fat digestion. That's why the baby fed with the breast milk, they shouldn't have a fracturance, they shouldn't have this colicky problem. All right. Hormones. And the most important today, the highlights will be on the pre and probiotics in the breast milk. Okay. Overall, these two pre and probiotic actually mold the gut microbiota profile. Maybe some of the parents have read some articles about what the term called microbiota. Later, I will elaborate further about this term. So first, what are the pre and probiotic? In simple way, prebiotic is a food for the probiotic. Probiotic actually is a good bacteria. That's why I'm sure you have heard these antibiotics, right? It's kind of a medicine to against something viable, something lively. That's why don't simply take antibiotic. Later I will talk about it because antibiotic will kill the probiotic, the good germs in the gut and cause a lot of side effect. Okay, but to make the probiotics survive in the gut, you have to give them the food called prebiotics. There's another definition, more straight. What are the prebiotics? It is a kind of a substance which I will elaborate further. That's why stay tuned. Right? Maybe the question will be asked for this prebiotic. Selectively stimulating the growth or activity one or limited numbers of probiotics. Not all the substances are equal because some prebiotic serve no purpose in our gut, but some that have this stimulating effect for the growth or the certain strain of the probiotic is very selective. That probiotic is a good bacteria, which I mentioned in our large intestine. Then, what about the probiotics? By WHO definition, are the live microorganism which, when administered in adequate amounts, that confer a health benefit on the host. Not all the probiotics are the same. Not something like a cultured drink, for example, some product in the market they say it's a so-called probiotics. In fact, there's a kind of a too general. By right, the probiotic must contain certain amount of the strain, specific strain, because not all the probiotics can survive through the acid in our stomach, through our bowel salt in our gut, that safely, successfully reach to our large intestine, that can bring the benefit to the host. All right. So probiotics, they have a strict definition. Okay. Some product, some drink in the market, it has probiotic, yes, but the number not enough to make them travel successfully to a large intestine. Sometimes, strictly speaking, we cannot say that a particular product has probiotics. Now, come to our human gut. All right, it's a general knowledge, but maybe some of you have heard or some even haven't. All right, this is what we call the alimentary tract. It starts from our mouth, esophagus, the swallowing pipe, go to the stomach, then from there, from the small intestine in the center, then join to the big intestine, yeah, then from the big intestine and at the anus. From the mouth to the anus, estimated about 9 meters long. How does this 9 meters long look like? It's about your 5 times of your height. All right. And when you open all the surfaces of the small intestine, big intestine, it has about 200 meters square, which equivalent to about 2 badminton courts. It's very important. I'm sure you learn in your biology, right? Because the surface is very important for the absorption of the nutrients from the food. Then it has 100 millions of neurons. That's important. Later I elaborate further. That's why stay tuned. No coffee break, no toilet break. Yeah, neuron, it shares the same neurons and also the neuron transmitter. Neuron transmitter is a chemical that they share among the neuron. They communicate each other. So the gut also with a lot of neurons. The nerve ending as like our brain. And if you compare to the brain cell, 100 million is about 0.1% of our brain cells, right? So they can communicate. In fact, later I will elaborate further. And this one more thing is very striking features here. 60 to 70% immune cells in our body, a white blood cell, right, or the soldiers to fight, to protect our body, they all actually staying in the gut. 70% of our total soldiers. So can't imagine that why our soldier have to stay in the gut. Stay tuned. Later I'll talk about the gut as an immune system, the biggest immune system in our body. And the most striking here, it contains 100 trillion bacteria in our guts. 100 trillion, if I'm on the stage now, I will ask question already. How many zero in the 100 trillion? You ask me, in fact, I don't know. I just survey. 100 trillion equivalent to 12 zero. 12 zero. So you add up this bacteria in our gut, all right? It, in fact, more than our total body cells by 10 times. 10 times. Also, in fact, outnumber of the worldwide population. Our worldwide population about 8 billion, and this is 100 trillions, all right? And in this 100 trillions bacteria that stay in our gut, all right, it has about 500 to 1,000 species, different species. So they are all good and bad. But luckily, less than 1% of these bacteria are the bad one. So majority are the good one, the good community. That's what we call the good microbiota profile. Now, the mature, stable. It costs nothing. It brings more benefit to our gut. All right. If become imbalanced, the bad one coming more and more, then the child will suffer a lot of diseases, which I will elaborate further. And you add up all this together, right? And you weigh this germ, so-called the microorganism. You cannot see with your cross eye, only by the electron microscope. It contains about 1 to 3% of your body weight. So in summary, if you weigh these bacteria together, can't imagine they actually about 1 kg the weight. It's heavy, you know, and it more than the whole world population. And all this stay in the small pipe in our body called the intestine. So what does gut do? All right. Of course, general people say, oh, gut, for digestion, for the food, absorb the nutrient. No, our gut does more than that. Of course, first thing, digestion, absorption. After digest, you have to absorb all the nutrient. Yeah, we cannot just put a meat, like for example, the meat protein. You cannot just put the meat and patch on your muscle. You want to grow muscle, okay? Patch the meat straight to your body. Cannot. The meat must be go into our digestion system, digested, can get absorbed. Whatever waste must be eliminated through our anus. But another thing, most important thing, you all might forget, which I mentioned just now, 70% of our white blood cell, our soldiers, actually reside at the gut. So it also serves immune functions. Okay, what do I mean digestion? Simply, digestion is to break the food, like for example, protein. You need the chemical called enzyme, like protease. Yeah, you all learned in biology before to break the long chain molecule like protein to become a smaller size of unit, or we call amino acid. Then only this can penetrate through the gut wall and get absorbed and go to the bloodstream. And from bloodstream, you send all this ingredient to our muscle, to any part of our body organs. And from there, they will make use of this raw material to become part of the organs, right? To repair, right? To grow for your children, like for example, the muscle cell. Okay, this is digestion. That is the process of absorption. After you digest the food, the smallest molecule will be absorbed, yeah, go to the bloodstream and sent to the particular cell for growth and the health maintenance. Of course, there will be the waste, right? Just our car. After you drive the engine, metabolize or petrol, whatever, then will come out some waste. So the waste must be successfully passed out from our body. Yeah, usually it's undigested food like the fiber or some waste product on the way of processing of the nutrient. Then don't forget about this immune function. 60-70%, which I already mentioned, fight against the pathogen to reduce the infection. Very important. If you don't fight properly, if our gut don't know to like recognize that is something harmful coming to attack us, then our gut will down with infection. Then what we call AGE, acute gastroenteritis, like some general layman will say, well, stomach flu. In fact, it's not the flu, but it's spread like a flu, right? In fact, AGE, acute gastroenteritis, infection along the gut, is spread by touching. Yeah, you need touching, not like COVID. You can spread between the 1 meter diameters because it can float on the droplet. This one by touching, but it spread like quite fast. That's why some general people say, oh, stomach flu, stomach flu. It's actually is a gut infection. But another word, if you the white cell in the gut when encounter the food coming in, what we call kind of a foreign body, all right? If this food has no harmful or don't have this property to attack the gut must be capable to identify this as harmless. For example, some food with a protein, like for example, seafood. We don't simply fight. If you fight, that means you develop kind of a food allergy. So the white blood cell in our gut must be clever. All right. And the thing is, if you ingest something is allergic, so-called allergic because the white blood cell in your gut take it as a harmful substance, then you fight. The symptom might not only limited in the gut. Sometimes it can manifested on the skin. For example, eczema. Some food allergy in your baby, for example, cow's milk protein allergy. Sometimes it can be manifested in the skin, manifested in the lung as well. A lot of wheezing. That's why a lot of research going on. Whatever thing happen in the gut, they have the communication through the immune system along the gut wall with the help of the microbiota, the probiotics, that will actually pass the message to other organs elsewhere, especially the skin, especially the lung. There's another new theory I want to share with you. For example, the peanut allergy in Western, very common. Some parents say that the child has no exposed to peanut. How come he once ingests the peanut, they develop a severe allergy? So the latest research, they found out that some peanut contact on the skin, yeah, because when you develop allergy, the child must be sensitized first for the first time. The first exposure won't cause anything, but second exposure will cause a symptom. But the child has no history of ingestion of the peanut, but he may have the skin contact with the peanut and they will get sensitized. So the second round, when the child accidentally take in the peanut orally, he will develop the allergy reaction. So a lot of research going on between the gut health that correlate with the lung and correlate with the skin. So there's an immune function in the gut that 60 to 70% of our white blood cell, in fact, all stay in the gut to fight the germ, to recognize the harmless thing, then not to fight. When you fight, that means you have this allergy reaction. So in other words is, if they don't fight against the harmless thing, that what we say, you body, develop the food tolerance. Okay, now this is quite interesting slide I developed. You think you take fish, you take milk, all these things good for the growth. But the thing is, when all these things, when you ingest, go to the stomach and go to the intestine and get digested, that eliminating the waste, absorb all the nutrient, you think it's very easy? In fact, it's not. So I always show this diagram to the parents, especially adults. Sometimes, after dinner, then 10 o'clock go for supper, then 1 o'clock also supper, super supper. In fact, you take too much thing, is actually to satisfy your mouth, satisfy your smell, the nose and the mouth. But a lot of these things that go into of the stomach, it give a burden, it give a lot of work, right, over time for the gut to do work. So sometimes don't simply take something unnecessarily excessively, because you burden your gut and you burden your whole entire this system, right? Not only the gut but also the liver, everything. All right. So what I want to say is, to make this food become a smallest molecule to be absorbed, to be used for the growth, you need to go through this, what we call gut system. Now, this is a chicken, also the same. Yeah, you go in, then go straight, get digested, and come out the poo-poo. All right. And the poo-poo also tells you how good your gut health. Later, I will talk about little bit of a poo-poo. So I hope you all have got your dinner. All right. I'm going to show you the real poo-poo later. All right. This is a chicken. There's a dog. Dog also the same. Ingest a food, get digested, and poo-poo out. All right. So why I want to show these three creatures: human, animal, chicken. All right. Now you see, this is what system? All right. Gut system belongs to who? Human. This one look like chicken. This one look like the dog. Okay. Two messages what I like to bring to your attention, parents. This is a human. Human gut, the system from the mouth, vertical. Esophagus go down, is a vertical. This is a bit more transverse. This dog also transverse. So first message we would like to share with you is, I'm sure you all heard about hemorrhoid, about these piles, all right? Malay called boasil, jichong, Chinese called jichong, right? So jichong, hemorrhoid would never develop among the animal with 4 legs. This is a 4 legs animal. Of course, chicken is 2 legs, but because the system is more to transverse as compared to the human. So human, you can see, because of the vertical located, this kind of a gut system, sometimes if you sit too long, you stand too long, the blood from anus to pump back is not easy, because you have to go against the gravity. So there is a tendency or risk to develop piles for human. As compared with the transverse location of this gut, like animal, like 4 legs animal, they have no piles. In another message is, children who just start to walk with 2 legs, they shouldn't develop piles. If you see some piles later, that's why I will show you poo-poo and the so-called the small fleshy mass around the anus in your kid, right? That one is not the piles. Because with this explanation, because your children just start to walk, right? The pooling of the blood here to develop piles almost unlikely, right? Human, yes, because you sit too long, the pooling of the blood around the anus that give you the risk to develop the piles. Okay. Second message about it. You can see the diagram here, human, chicken, and the dog. Why I draw this diagram is because, in fact, from our mouth to anus, this entire pipe, you can call the digestive pipe, whatever pipe, right? In fact, it's not the internal organ. It is actually the external organ. Only thing, the external organ have to be protected, right? Actually, if you want to really pull this thing out, you can pull it out and put outside. So what I want to say is this so-called internal organ is belong to external, and this external organ is really simply very, very important to contribute the health to the human. Why I say so? Like for example, when your baby just out to this world, inside mommy's womb, they only drink the fluid in the womb, but outside they have to start to be independent to take in the food. Of course, the food either from your breast milk or from the cow's milk. That's why today's presentation, I will emphasize more on the breast milk, which I mentioned later. So when they take in the external food, remember the word external food is the kind of a foreign body for the gut. So the gut system must get matured fast. They must have a capable to recognize the food is harmless. If the food is harmless, they think it's harmless, then you fight against the food, which I mentioned just now. They develop the what we call intolerant. That what we mean is food allergy. Okay, if the food carries some germ inside, all right, then our white blood cell in the gut, your baby's gut, must be able to recognize and fight back. If you cannot fight back, the germ will create the imbalance in the microbiota, so the bad germ will increase. Then the child will suffer brutal, the dysfracturant, vomit, and diarrhea, what we call the AGE, acute gastroenteritis. Just simply, you can imagine if I give you 3 sets of puzzle, boom, for you to arrange, okay? Some puzzle would be the complete puzzle, some maybe a few segment of the puzzle. So you must be able to identify for those can make a nice complete picture you take out. What I mean is a nutrient you take out, you absorb, whatever kind of so-called the rubbish, which is not the complete puzzle, you throw away and eliminate it out. So your gut, your baby's gut must be able to do so. And most important thing is when they come out to this world, the first food you give him must be the very supporting, must be very, very kind of nutrient, contain all of a lot of nutrient to promote the gut health, to promote the, which I mentioned, 70% of the soldiers that reside along the gut wall that can be able to recognize this. Otherwise, they will down with all the infection in the gut. They will down with the food intolerance. So, in simple, the gut is very important organ in our human body. For the first organ that encounter the, I can say the stranger, or you can say the foreign body that come into the body, close contact, and they must be able to identify who is the kawan, who is a friend, who is the enemy to kill it out. All right. So now question time. Okay. So after taking this message in your brain, you can imagine, right? In this world, all the creatures in this world, including the human or some animals, okay? There shouldn't be any animal or creature in this world without the gut. Without the gut. Without the gut, how can you absorb the nutrient from outside to make it to one part of your body to grow, right? For the development, okay? But in this part of the world, creature, whatever creature, you cannot have no gut, but you can have no brain. So now, any one of you can guess what are the creature in this world? It has no brain, brainless. Maybe like some of our human, or whatever who take care of our country, right? Have brain but function like brainless. Okay, human have brain, have gut, but in this world, there's one creature. Yeah, it has no brain. It has no brain. But how primitive it is, he must have a gut to survive. So any takers, Anyone can put in the chat group, in the chat, what creature in this world have no brain but have a gut? It is a jellyfish. Jellyfish has no brain, but they can survive. How primitive, how simple their body organ, but as long as they have a gut system, they can absorb the nutrient, they can grow, they can survive. But only thing that their mouth and the anus are at the same acid. Sorry to tell you that. But survive for the fetus. As long as they have a gut, no brain, no problem. It's okay. But for human, no brain cannot. We have brain, must think with brain cells. Don't waste your brain. Okay. All right. Next, what does gut do? Other than the absorption, all right, elimination of the waste, immune system, okay, they also has this function of synthesis of vitamin, like for example, vitamin K, K for the breathing. That's why newborn all inject vitamin K because we believe vitamin K that pass from the mother very, very minimum. So all the newborn in this world, they inject at the type with the vitamin K. In our gut also, they has a probiotic. It will help to synthesize vitamin K and vitamin B. It also synthesize fatty acid from this probiotic, and fatty acid very important in the recent research. Also promote the growth and maturity of the white blood cell along the gut. And later I'll talk a little bit on the gut-brain crosstalk. So what do I mean? All right. In fact, recent research, a lot of correlation. They show the evidence that gut actually has a communication with the brain, simply because whatever contained in the brain, it also contained in the gut wall. All right. So whatever chemical released in the brain that stimulate our mindset, our emotion, our thinking, the chemical will be flow into the bloodstream, and it also will affect the gut system as well, because they share the same what we call receptor. Because for chemical like what we call neurotransmitter, the chemical that share among the nerve cell, they pass the message, they need a neurotransmitter. But for the neurotransmitter to function, you need the receptor at the end organ. So the end organ, when have a receptor, the neurotransmitter will stimulate and give a signal to the organ. So the organ will be the brain and the gut. So they have a lot of crosstalk. Don't you think so? If you have a like anxious mind, anxiety, you want to go on the stage and present, okay? You feel funny feeling in your gut. You feel like want to go to toilet more. Sometimes you have a loose motion. You like to go to toilet, yeah. Or other way around. If you have something indigestion, you feel bloated, right? You feel full. Your brain also funny, you feel like heavy headed. You feel like nausea, vomit. So these two things that correlate. And now more research going on, they try to identify, is there certain probiotic, the germs, okay, will modify the gut system that also might modify the mindset, might modify the behavior. They even talk about the autism, some behavior disorder that might be affected by the gut health. All right. So this is what we call the gut brain axis. You can Google this gut brain axis. So there's another term, the gut act like a second brain. Okay, so this kind of a theory, you should read it more on the Googles, then you might know why the child, like sometimes, right, sleepless, couldn't sleep well, emotion, okay, that will affect the appetite and vice versa. All right. Then signs of an unhealthy gut. I think most of us will know, of course, unhealthy gut, either constipating, kind of pass poo-poo, or other way around, pass a lot poo-poo, loose stool, diarrhea. It indicates some infection going on, what I call just now AGE, acute gastroenteritis. The medical term will make it short on AGE, okay? Flatulence, right? Couldn't digest well, especially the fatty food. Because of this, poor absorption, the child has a poor weight gain. You can see the growth chart. Yeah. At the same time, I think I would like to emphasize the parents, every time you visit the BITS clinic, right? Try to see the growth chart, right? Singapore, I think they have their own Singapore growth chart. In Malaysia, usually follow WHO growth chart. So any weight gain, stagnant, cut the 2 percentile points, that it hints something. You must take some action. What happened? Either the quality of food not good, the quantity not enough, or because of gut unhealthy. In fact, my second book is coming up. Eat well, grow well in September. Stay tuned. Yeah. All right. Poor weight gain. Of course, which I mentioned just now, brain and gut have a communication. When you have this problem, the emotional, the behavioral will come in, right? So the sign of unhealthy gut, I simplify to these 5. And you must know the gut problem in my clinic, I'm sure in other clinic in this world, is the second most common outpatient visit. The first, of course, the most common will be upper airway infection, flu, cough, because the germs spread by droplets, sometimes even airborne. But germ that's from the gut is spread by contact. All right. So it's second most common. But I would like to emphasize more on the constipation because it's really, really common in our outpatient visit. And this one can be prevented. But don't know why a lot of children also develop the constipation. And the longer it is, more difficult for us to cure. Right? Basically, constipation occurs during some important time points in the child's life. I think most important will be the illness. After illness, not enough fibers and water, and they develop constipation, and they have a phobia to strain to push the poo poo out. Then that will develop the vicious cycle. New environment, like for example, you travel, right? Go for a short travel and a new environment, lack of sleep, intake of fiber, then you develop this constipation. Of course, there's a transition from the milk to taking the solid food, yeah. And a lot of parents sure will blame, take a lot of heaty food, biscuit, chocolate, will get constipation. No, right? This is part of the food menu, but at the same time, you must supplement the fiber, food with fiber fruit, like for example, in the local fruit with papaya, banana, dragon fruit, kiwi, very good food, right? You cannot simply blame all this so-called healthy food, yeah? And you cannot simply say, I give the child a lot of water, but water cannot work without the fiber as well, okay? So you don't force a child with a toilet train. Sometimes they have phobia to sit on this potty, right? You can see this statistic. 1 out of 3, I'm sure the parents agree with me, yeah, your child may suffer from constipation. Right? That's why I said you had your dinner. Okay. So better don't go for supper after this. This is my real patient. Right? So pity, they have this difficult to strain and the child suffer. No need that. The parents also suffer. Look at it, also feel sad. Sometimes become helpless. And this I mentioned just now, child has a hard, painful stool. So sometimes no choice. After 5 days, he doesn't poo poo. At the end, they poo poo 1 or 2 pieces, 1 or 2 pieces to release the pressure inside. But they still hold more pieces in the rectum. So the longer you hold, I'm sure you know, the drier the stool, the sharper the stool, the harder the stool, the more difficult the child to strain. Then they hold the longer. The longer it is, then the more difficult to poo, like a vicious cycle. All right. This is what I want to mention. Okay, because of the poo so big, so hard, the children no choice have to poo. Just like mama want to deliver the baby, go go. This also funny thing. I have done a simple investigation among Malaysian. How you make your child poo poo? They always say Sometimes the one who make the sound even look like more suffering than the child. I think the 3 ethnic group in Malaysia also. Okay, so when the child want to right, they want to go the pressure they push, they sometimes might push a small fleshy mass around the inner ring there that we will push it out that look like a pile. This is not pile. I already mentioned piles only develop when the child start walking. We make the what we call the gut bite, the bite at the vertical position. And your children just start to walk, or maybe just like not walking, growing, 4 legs, they shouldn't develop pile. This is what we call the so-called the false pile. It's a kind of a skin tag. No need to cut. A lot of parents bring this as my real patient. No need to cut, but it causes bleeding because it will obstruct the poo to come out smoothly. So when you see this, no need to do anything for this mass. Most important, to soften the stool. If the child already developed phobia, all right, So you need the medication to soften the stool temporarily. Maybe take supplement of probiotic, which I mentioned later. Probiotic can help the gut to move better. But of course, these are not for long term. Okay, the probiotic you take can multiply. Then the stool softener also usually give at least 2 weeks to 1 month. And at the same time, take high fiber fruit. Of course, not durian, right? Papaya, banana, dragon fruit. You must take bigger portion. You just separate it morning, lunch, dinner. If the child very difficult to make to take this, you make it to juice, or you may be more creative. Make the banana to a like banana split, make it to flour. If your child very fussy, even dragon fruit, you can make a lollipop. You can use a scoop to make a lollipop with a steak. Make it more funny and creative. Your child refuse to take fruits. Okay, of course, vegetable you can blend into your porridge. So after the stool becomes softer, the child doesn't strain too hard, this fleshy mass will just dissolve. You get absorbed inside. All right, this is not the real pile. Another thing also very important, this is the side view for the female organ. This is a bladder, this is a ureter to pass out the urine, this is a uterus, that means womb, this is a vagina, this is a large intestine and come to the rectum and anus. When your big fecal matter, this is a big poo-poo they hold for 5 days, it will compress in front until make the ureter become cooked. So in such a case, the child might not pass the urine smoothly with some residual inside the bladder. And this will predispose the child to get urine tract infection, especially female. Because compared with male, because of the organ structure, female will get urine tract infection relatively easier because the anus and the vagina is very close to each other. Any diarrhea will predispose the child to get urine tract infection, especially those who have a constipation. You can see the urethra. This is urethra, right? That passing out the urine, it will give you some residue that predispose the child to get urine tract infection. So, Lily, make sure you have taken your dinner. Another poo-poo picture again. You can Google Bristol stool child, very famous. Okay, type 1, type 2, not good. Yeah, lack of fluid, lack of fiber. Type 5, type 6 is a loose stool. Yeah, it can be normal for the for the previous. Okay, wait. Okay, type 5, type 6 can be normal if the child is breastfed, okay? Because breastfeeding, the stool a bit softer. Type 5, type 6 for breastfeeding is okay. But generally, if the child already start take some solid food, we should aim for the type 3 and type 4. Okay. But sometimes the parent also worry. They really bring the stool to my clinic and show me with some of course the smell, okay? But some very clever at once, they take the photo and show me as well. They always ask me, doctor, is it diarrhea? Is it diarrhea? Diarrhea, just advice to the parent. You cannot just show me one poo-poo, okay? You have to compare this poo-poo with the previous poo-poo, okay? If the child poo always like a bit pasta-like, a bit loose too, like the breastfed baby, which I show you the type 5, type 6, all the while like that, it's okay. Yeah. By definition, the diarrhea, the stool must be softer, more watery than normal poo-poo. And second, the child has more frequent poo-poo. Okay, you must fulfill this criteria. Some child, they have a normal consistency. The consistency is normal, but a little bit more frequent. Because after poo-poo, you cannot so fast wipe or wash the buttock because maybe another piece up there still on the way down. Then you wash the buttock, right? The anus will close up. Okay. Then next feeding, we will induce the poo-poo, then come out another piece of poo-poo again. Then you say it's diarrhea. No. Increase frequency, increase water in the poo-poo, we call this a diarrhea. And some more that the poo-poo contains some mucus and with the blood or smelly, a bit smelly, and also the child a bit uncomfortable when passing out the poo-poo. And all this add on together, then you suspect the child might suffer from diarrhea. So generally speaking, from the Bristol stool chart, type 3, type 4 is acceptable. Okay? Okay, no more poo-poo, no more stool chart for you now. Okay. Now, definition of healthy gut by WHO. It's a state of not only physical but also the mental well-being. Yeah, in the absence of the gastrointestinal complaints, all right, absence of indication, some risk of a bowel problem, and in the absence of the whatever confirmed bowel disease. Now is what we call the healthy gut. Okay, so basically the healthy gut you can see, right? From here, it's a smooth journey, good digestion, good absorption, eliminating all the waste in the very smooth way. No constipation, no loose stool. So make this journey successfully go down. All right. So first thing, effective digestion and absorb of food nutrient. Optimal physical growth because good absorption, good nutrient, the growth will be good. Emotional stable, yeah, not irritable. Normal stable gut microbiota because with a good germ, they won't suffer all these things. Then with that effective immune function, the child with healthy and not much of falling sick, right? So they don't have vomit and diarrhea, constipation, not stunted, no digestion problem, and seldom fall sick, and no food tolerance because you cannot overfight. Overfight, you develop what we call food intolerance, right? Which I mentioned, what we call food allergy. So healthy gut is basically a key overall well-being of our children. Okay. So now the most important now I put at the back because I want you to know the concept, how important our gut. So don't simply take it easy. Like 11 o'clock, 1 a.m. in Malaysia, we go to Mama, sapu all the telur bawang, campur, uh, whatever, planta. It's really unfair to our gut. Yeah, it's fair for your mouth. Wow, eat, you enjoy the taste, whatever, you chit chat with your friends. But please imagine your gut is going to be overworked the whole night, just like 7-Eleven, 24-hour working. Likewise, I advise to my parents also, after baby becomes 6 months, right? Try to cut down your night feeding. Not good, not only for the teeth. It's not fair for their gut system, digest. No, doctor, my child always middle of night cry. If you don't feed him or her, they cannot stop crying. In fact, they cry for security. They cry for sense of touching. You just give a pet, maybe pacifier to comfort them. Maybe you don't touch them also. Let them cry. Let them find a position to sleep. Comfort themselves for 5 minutes. It's okay. Let them cry a little bit. It's okay. So don't simply feed just to satisfy their mouth, but their gut is going to work more. Okay. So now the keyword prebiotic. All right. If you see some ingredient that written on the food label, yeah, prebiotic basically is a molecule. It's a kind of a carbohydrate, right? It contains carbon and hydrogen molecule and different sizes. In the different sizes with a different name, you have a fructose oligosaccharide, keto oligosaccharide. I'm just sure I'm not going to ask this keyword. All right, inulin, lactulose. Okay, it present in the cow's milk. Of course, it present in our human breast milk. In fact, it's the third largest component in our breast milk, and it has about 100 different, or it is prebiotic, which in summarized in the HMO, human milk oligosaccharides, with the different location of the hydrogen, carbon, all that. It has 100 different HMO. And it also present in a lot of fruits and vegetables with the striking colors. That's why dietitian advise our children take a lot of different variety color of fruit and veggie that contains a lot of prebiotic. So in action, what are the actions of prebiotic? It acts as a fiber, promote peristalsis. Peristalsis means movement of the gut. Okay, it absorbs the water, increase the water content in the stool, that soften the stool, that prevent constipation. And it has a direct effect on the harmful pathogen as well. It restricts the pathogen. Pathogen is a harmful germs, what we call bad bacteria or whatever bacteria, virus that to multiply. It will restrict the multiplication of the germ. So in other words, reduce the risk of AGE. And at the same time, of course, as you all know, prebiotic is a food for the probiotic, stimulate the growth of a good germs, okay? And it stimulates very selectively at the certain selectively on the certain strain, okay? And what is a probiotic? There are many names, many species, but one thing for sure, parents ask which probiotic products are good in the market. All right, I give you some tips. All right. First thing, no need simply supplement probiotic to your children. Okay. Now I'm of course I talk about breast milk, but now generally, like my children, I don't supplement probiotics. When you supplement probiotic, when the child down with diarrhea, you have to supplement for a short course. When the child take antibiotic, no choice, it's a bacterial infection. Doctor prescribe antibiotic. Antibiotic will induce diarrhea because it will kill the probiotic as well in the gut. That the child will suffer from flatulence, gastric stomach, and diarrhea. So you supplement probiotic. And sometimes the child also might suffer temporary poor appetite, digestion very slow, flatulence, bloated. I will supplement with probiotic. How long? Some children, I can tell you, some parents, oh, my neighbor who take probiotic are very good. No need, because probiotic can survive in the large intestine. They will multiply, just like a germ, like human. They will spread and multiply. Okay, only certain time which I mentioned just now, you have to supplement for them. And also, probiotic are so many types in the market. Okay, only certain strain will bring the benefit. Other strain has no research paper. So how do we know? So when you see the probiotic, basically it's a bifido or lacto. And at the end of this, right, they have this code name that is patented, has been studied intensively. This is only few of it. No, there are many. Okay, if not sure, Google. Okay, Google this name. Has it been studied in the research? Is there many paper published on this strain? All right. Of course, if your child has been breastfed since day one, all the good germ will be there because in the breast milk, which I mentioned, 100 different type of HMO, they selectively select the those who are good one that can bring health and bring benefit to the baby. They promote to provide this prebiotic and select certain probiotic survive. The rest cannot take this prebiotic. They will just die off, especially all the bad one. Okay. So in future, just be careful. And also the market probiotic, the products, right? You must ask any research done, although they put that CFU, coronary formation unit, how many billion? Maybe most of the probiotic die along the way, which I mentioned, the probiotic must go straight and successfully to the large intestine. They must bypass the bile salt, they might bypass the acid, cannot be killed, go down to the large intestine and stay there and bring the health. Otherwise, you cannot fulfill the WHO definition, bring the benefit to the host. All right. That's why probiotic product in the market, not all are the same. Ask for the research paper. Okay, the action. It produces the lactic acid, which also in turn stimulates the peristalsis, the gut movement, reduce the risk of constipation, suppress the harmful bacteria because the population getting more and more and more. So directly it will suppress the bad guy to overgrow. In other way, that the child will suffer less chance of an AGE. And the third point, very important, it trains the gut soldiers. Remember, 70% of our soldier staying along the gut wall. You need people to train them. Otherwise, soldier down there, nothing to do. When the bad germ come in, they cannot fight. The good thing about the good probiotic, the good germ is you have what we call the term talking. They will make the soldiers become capable to fight against the germ, but at the same time, they will recognize something is harmless, what we call like protein, allergen. They won't develop allergy. So you can see the baby being breastfed that contain a lot of pre and probiotic, they have a less gut infection. The soldier know which one is harmful. They're going to fight. That's why less infection. And they don't simply fight, over fighting. So the child will has less chance to develop allergic diseases. And allergic diseases can be presented not only in the gut, like vomiting, diarrhea. It can be presented on the skin, eczema, which I mentioned just now. They can present in the airway, asthma. All right. And one more thing also, they also has less chance to develop what we call autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease simply is our own immune system fight back and fight back our own organ cell. They cannot recognize our organ cell as their own body. They will fight, right? Some of the example like celiac disease, all right? The inflammation along the gut wall. Our own immune system become crazy. They simply fight. Our own body also they fight, all right? Other autoimmune disease will be the SLE, right? Thyroid disease, also some diabetic got two type, one type also associated with autoimmune. So the pre and probiotic they work hand in hand, and of course it also enhance the gut protective barrier, because another physical barrier to reduce the infection is our gut wall. I'm sure today will slightly prolong, maybe another 5 minutes. I will finish my presentation. Now it's 9:26. Okay, few more slides. Please stay tuned. All right, the question may be asked at the back of this few slides. Okay, prebiotic and probiotics add up together. We call symbiotic. Maybe some parents have heard about this word, symbiotic. So it enhances stool quality. So the parent wouldn't worry, oh, my child passing out has to lose stool. Increase the gut peristalsis, the gut movement, and you all know also it enhances the body immune system. All this will be improved, okay? And they work synergistically, especially pre and probiotic together. So basically, it makes this journey very smooth for your children. If your baby has adequate and all the correct, all the what we call famous probiotic that has been proven that bring all the health to your baby. So, but one thing very sad to see that why in this world so many allergic diseases happen, even in Singapore, especially more advanced countries, right? In Europe, 3 or 4 of 10 children develop allergic nose, asthma, and eczema. This I would like to emphasize. Maybe parents must take note. Lifestyle changes. First is overuse of antibiotic. Just a small tip for the parents. When you visit your doctor, 10 visits, if the doctor only give you antibiotic with 10 visits, maybe 1 or 2, maximum 2 out of 10 visits, the doctor give you antibiotic. That is that's a good doctor, ethical doctors, okay? Not to mention here, even other US, right? Doctors sometimes they practice a protective medicine. Just give first, never mind. But the day antibiotic overuse, abuse, or sometimes parent demand for it, seems like they have a wrong belief. Without antibiotic, the child cannot get healthy faster. No, 90% of a infection, upper airway, cough, flu, or even diarrhea, vomit, caused by virus. COVID also virus. You ban with antibiotics, useless. In fact, you're going to kill more good germ in the gut. The child will suffer diarrhea and vomiting. So overuse of antibiotics is one of the lifestyle, so-called lifestyle changes that cause our cause our microbiota profile change. Another thing is the increasing hygienic lifestyle. Maybe parents have heard about hygiene hypothesis. The more advanced the country, the cleaner the environment, the child has no chance to expose to the what we call the allergen, exposed to the dirt, exposed to the animal furs. If you compare rural and urban state, the children in the urban, they seldom they have this kind of exposure to the cow, to the farm stay, the rural area. So the rural area, they have slow exposure. So the immune system have a chance to be trained to identify all this is harmless. Don't fight, man. All these children, don't fight. If you fight, it's not because of your immune system weak. The child always having like runny nose, asthma, right? Or a lot of people say your child always weak. In fact, it's not weak. The immune system over strong, overreact to all this what we call harmless substance allergen. So when the child getting more and more protected in the condo, right? No exposure to the outside world, that this hygienic lifestyle will predispose them to get this allergic reaction because their immune system not well trained. Another one is their microbiota, the profile also not stable. That means they don't have a chance to communicate with the white blood cell in the gut. Okay, so I will encourage the child from start go to outdoor activity. Of course, with the COVID pandemic, we have to be careful. If not, outdoor activity is the best. Not always over protecting our children. And one more keyword here, cesarean section. More and more research shows that those baby born with vaginal delivery as compared with cesarean, the vaginal delivered baby has so-called healthier body. They, on the way, mama push the baby down from the birth canal. The baby actually absorb a lot of good germ from the vaginal canal around the anus. And still remember, the child will be straight put into the mama's chest for the latching, for the bonding. That also the baby's mouth will take in some of the good germ on the mama's skin, and all this will kick off the good germ microbiota, kick start all the good community in the gut. And also this one, as compared with cesarean, the baby born shortcut straight out to this world, have no chance to have a contact with the good germ from the mummy. So they compare. So for those who deliver cesarean section baby, they're prone to develop asthma or other allergic diseases. And of course, working parents that have less giving breast milk, give cow's milk, that what we call the bioactive ingredient in the cow's milk for sure is inferior to our breast milk. So all this bring to the poor microbiota profile in our baby's gut. All right, ding 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 ding. And what we call, if anything imbalance, we call dysbiosis, and no more symbiosis. So parents, the choice is yours. I always say parents because the duty to give breastfeeding not only from the mommy, the another beloved papa, the husband also must give full support. All right. So choice is yours, parent. You want your baby's gut like this, healthy, or like this. Okay. And the effect not only short term, which I mentioned 2 weeks ago, there are another long term benefit, like for example, reduce the diabetes, reduce all the metabolic diseases like hypertension, heart disease. Breastfed baby also less suffering from the gut infection, ear infection, this airway infection, and also the asthma and all other allergic diseases. So the best gift, the greatest gift that you start kick off the good microbiota in the virgin baby's gut. Never get colonized. It's virgin. It's only one thing. It's the breast milk from the day one of life. Okay, so you feed them with all the bioactive ingredient that what I call symbiotic, prebiotic, and probiotic. We will give them the best present in the gut to kickstart the good community, to enhance all the probiotic in the gut that bring all the benefit that I mentioned just now. Okay, so you can see very happy, good family, good community, helping each other. You help me, I help you, train the gut immune system. Of course, all the digestion, elimination of the waste. I don't want to talk about that. The most important, the immune system. Not overfight that develop the allergy, not underfight, develop the AGE, and not also make the food not tolerable. So all the best milk that give to the baby is the best to maintain their development and the good health. And another last keyword, what you do and eat in the first 1,000 days. Now it's very favorite keyword. First 1,000 days, they mean from day one you conceive until the 2 years of life of the baby. How you feed your baby is very important. It will gonna affect the not only that particular time, but the rest of the children's life, the first 1,000 days. All right. So breastfeeding your child exclusively for the first 6 months. And you can feed beyond until 2 years and above. But the most important, the first 6 months exclusively give your baby the best food. That is your breast milk. Okay. Last two slides. Again, there's very good, strong keyword. As we always thought, you are what you eat. No, it's only half correct. In fact, there's one quotation here. All disease begins in the gut. Okay, with this, I thank you for your attention. And this is my Facebook. I sometimes contact some live. You can follow. And most of my live I conduct in the Mandarin. If you're interested, maybe one day when I have a live in with an interesting topic, you can listen. Thank you so much. I can't hear your grab. Maybe you can put like or love in the chat box. Thank you. I pass the platform to Charmaine now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chin, for your very, very interesting and entertaining presentation. So, firstly, we just want to apologize to our Singapore viewers. Apparently, one of the viewers, complained about Dr. Chin's presentation of nudity. So, I think it's the child's bum. And so Facebook actually blocked the video, the live streaming. Hence, a lot of our Singapore viewers got dropped off halfway. They can't view any of the video anymore. So we are trying to put that up again. Not sure who's the one who complained, but it's a child's bum, and we're talking about good gut health. So, in case you were wondering what happened in Singapore, this is what happened. Anyway, thank you, Dr. Chin, for your presentation. So, are there any questions that you have for Dr. Chin, our Malaysian audience? There are no questions. Okay. Any? Someone said no robot dance today.
You know why, Charmaine? Because of every live I have done previously, I will put the robot. In fact, it acts like a speaker, but it can dance. Very
Ah,
nice.
I
So,
thought I thought you were doing the robot dance.
and they pay more attention at my robot than me. You know. All
Okay, I
right.
think we have one question from okay, from Christine. Family member always say baby dislike breast milk when baby don't drink. Hmm. Yeah, I don't think that's a question yet. That's a
Yeah.
question. So, what about after 6 months of breastfeeding? Would it be okay to give formula? If breast milk is not enough, would it be okay to supplement formula? So, what's
By
your answer on that?
by WHO recommendation, if you can give breast milk exclusively for 6 months, we are happy. So after 6 months, if your production getting less and less, yeah, you can just simply change to cow's milk. But again, parents must take a note. After 6 months, the solid food must come in. All right. Even
Mm.
if you give breastfeeding, the nutrient inside the breast milk is not enough. The child might get less iron from the breast milk. So in short, after 6 months, solid food must come in, and baby no more feed on demand. You must actually schedule the time, maybe 3 feeding cow's milk or breast milk in a day. Lunch and dinner, you must fix the time for the solid, and try to eliminate the night feeding after 6 months. Let them sleep well because our growth hormone secreted in the night time. When the child sleep well, what we call the sleeping hygiene, the child will grow better, especially the bone.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mentioned this in my coming book in should be published in September. Hopefully, eat well, grow well, combined with the dietitian recommendation, and it has a lot of growth chart. I simplify it for parents to see. So just don't depend on the doctor, but you must see the growth chart, not one particular weight and height measurement. You will see the trend. You must see the trend of the growth chart. Yeah.
Okay. So what about but then would the milk this is a question from me. Would the amount of milk that the baby takes once they start solid go down or
Okay, total amount sure go down, but for every feed, it can remain to about 5 to 6 ounces, right? But the total feeding maybe only 3 serving for the cow's milk or breast milk, then lunch and dinner solid.
if just taking one meal?
I mean, solid food,
Yeah,
or you should start with one lunch meal first, then after that you slowly increase to
to
two
two.
meals. I mean lunch and dinner.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So one question from Shalyn, how to eliminate night feeding?
This one, both parents must sign a contract first. And the next door elderly also must sign the contract if you stay with your elderly. All right. This agreement you must be signed. Otherwise, one say yes, one say no, dispute sure will come. Yeah, but from my judgment, baby sure always bully parents, especially baby always bully mommy. So from day one, never put the baby between the two couples. Okay, you must start to train your baby in the baby cot from day one of life. If not, your hubby sure jealous, your hubby will just run away next time. All right. So keep the baby at the baby cots first for the safety, because 3 4 months they start to turn over. I have a lot of babies just fall down from the bed. Even parents say put at the big size bed, king size, they will fall. So train from day one. So you must sign a contract. Yeah, just don't touch the baby. Maybe the contract mention, okay, hubby, don't touch the daughter crying. Let them cry about maybe 3 minutes. Then you slowly longer and longer. If still after the limit, you go and hug them. Maybe give them a pillow to hug. Okay. Maybe start with some pacifier, water. Then after eliminate everything. They actually suck for security, such kind of a sense of security. They not really hungry one. I asked Sherman,
Mm,
you will feel hungry 3 a.m.? No, your biological clock will actually shut down, make you sleep. Okay? If you're hungry, it's more your mouth to satisfy your mind. I already mentioned it's really unfair for your internal organ at the end.
okay.
Mm,
What?
yeah.
Okay, another question. Hi, Dr. Chin. Would you recommend breastfeeding mother to take additional supplements to produce nutritional milk, breast milk?
All right. Actually, to produce breast milk, yeah, I'm sure if you have asked some lactating consultant, it's everything here. The mindset very important. Your second half also very important. Give you a full moral support. Give you some massage. Think positive. Of course, the first time mother, the breast duct sometimes get obstructed. All right, you can do warm massage. Direct latching very important. Make the baby suck on your nipple. You should read a little bit how to increase the production by sucking, because the hormone you get stimulated to produce more milk. Maybe the first 2 weeks, all right. Some study shows that some substance like lecithin can enhance the milk production. For me, I'm not the supplement guy. All right, I against supplement unless necessary. Okay, if you want to supplement your brain cell, the mindset. Okay, or you want to supplement some calcium, iron, which I'm sure there's in the market some milk for lactating mom. You can take that. Okay, then you enhance your DHA, which also increase the product, good quality product of your breast milk, like and increase the DHA level in your breast milk. Other than that, once the breast milk go smoothly, I don't think you need any other supplement. No. Mm.
Okay, so baby recovered from UTI, but the stool still in soft state, even got taking solid food. What is the cause?
Okay, UTI cannot take it simply. You must follow instruction from the pediatrician after treated with antibiotic. Okay, if the stool still soft, maybe it has already lack of a probiotic. I will advise to take some probiotic supplement for the gut to become healthier. Then I think it should be fine, no problem. If really very loose stool, temporary, mommy have to give the child. If let's say on cow's milk, you have to give the child with lactose free milk for temporary, because when you have a loose stool, especially a smelly one, and baby cry and the inner skin become red, sometimes they suffer what we call lactose intolerance temporary. Okay, because the lactose is the carbohydrate in the milk that you need the enzyme called lactase to digest. So temporarily the lack of lactase, the lactose will actually absorb a lot of water. In fact, the lactose will also stimulate the gut movement faster. So lose too. So temporary your milk, just give them lactose-free milk formula for temporary, and at the same time supplement them with some probiotics should be fine.
Okay, some say
Mm.
pumped milk less nutrition than formula milk. Is that true?
Uh, Okay, express milk, if you compare, in fact, there's study, the express milk, if you compare the baby direct latching, right? The express milk somehow, because how you
Less.
keep,
Mm.
maybe the nutrients slightly differ. But cow's milk, no comparison. The gold standard is the breast milk. Who says so? I think, Fong Ling, are you the cow's milk agent? No. That's
Okay,
not true,
and
Fong Ling? Yeah,
probably the last one.
yeah.
Okay, there's two more. The food that mommy eat is that will it affect the breast milk nutrition?
definitely the nutrition, but not the smell, whatever. Because there are parents, right, mention, okay, like for example, the jaundice baby, there's a lot of of course, there's a breast milk induced jaundice. The jaundice will like getting less and less after a month. Of course, we have to rule out all the causes. If the baby defined as a prolonged jaundice, like full-term baby, the jaundice shouldn't more than 2 weeks, preterm shouldn't more than 3 weeks. So after prolonged jaundice have been defined and we rule out certain things, then there's a breast milk induced jaundice we can accept until 1 month. But some people believe what mother eats right also affect the jaundice prolonged. No, what we believe is actually maternal hormone in the breast milk might affect the baby's liver to excrete the jaundice, the bilirubin a bit slower. Not what a mother eat. Okay, if not, if mother eat durian, the breast milk also got durian flavor. No, which I always symbolize like that. No, but whatever mother eat in the food, the quality, the nutrition, like DHA, if mother take a lot of deep sea fish, the DHA very high in deep sea, or mother take a lot of lactating milk, right? The milk quality, yeah, will be affected, right?
Bleaching. Is it normal for babies to undergo constipation when they start solid food?
Not necessary, because solid food, you can blend some vegetable inside. But one thing for sure, when you start some solid food, you have to start some puree, fruit puree like papaya, banana you give to the babies to prevent constipation.
Okay, I think we'll end the questions for tonight. So thank you so much for answering the questions. So
All
right
right,
now we have the quiz. I have the 3 questions, and Dr. Chin shall help us
to verify.
verify if the answers are correct. So
Not ask about jellyfish, Are you asking about jellyfish?
no, no. Okay, so the first question would be, how much bacteria is there in our gut? How much bacteria is there in our gut? What is the answer for how much bacteria is there in our gut?
In terms of weight, or in terms of species, or in terms of what? The
In terms
numbers.
of the many zeros.
Zero, zero. Oh. Yeah, I saw the answer correct. Yuan Yi.
Yenny.
Yuan Yi Summer. The first
Yes.
question. How many
Well
zero?
done.
Trillion?
How many zeros?
Dual blast. 12. 12 zero. Oh, not bad. So many
Congratulations.
correct answers.
People are paying attention because that was way, way early in your presentation.
All right, good. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Yeah.
So the next question. Name one action of the probiotic. Name
Action
one
of probiotic. One action. Yeah.
one action of the probiotic. So the next question is name one action of the probiotic. People are still answering the first one.
As a 12. 12.
Name one action of the probiotic. Form healthy gut. Immune system.
I think the immune system.
Protect gut health. So, which is the answer,
The
Dr.
immune
Chin?
system.
Immune system. Careful.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, gut health is too general. Of course, it bring the good gut health, but what are the points there? Yeah, immune system. Yep. Induce
Okay.
resources, immune system. Yep.
Well done. Okay. Here's the last question. So, how many days makes the difference in a child's life? How many days of feeding makes a difference in a child's life? The very last slide. Oh no, one of the last slides.
Zero again. How many zero? It's a number.
How many days? Well done, Tutor Me.
1,000 days.
Yes, Tio
Start
Me.
from the day
Well
one of
done.
conceived.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, all right, for the three winners, do contact us on Malaysia Facebook page, and we'll let you know about the collection of your prizes. So we're out of time today, and we have to wrap it up. So thank you so much, Dr. Chin, for your time. It's been very entertaining again, and we do apologize about Singapore audience, like who got cut off halfway because of the complaint. But yes,
Oh,
yes. So Singapore Facebook, Medela Singapore Facebook live streaming got cut short because I think a viewer complained about the bum, the
oh, I
bum.
see. I,
Yeah.
I
So
hope they can watch back later on because this one
yeah.
will be on the Facebook, right?
Yes. So we are trying to write into Facebook to get that sorted.
Mm,
So for those of our viewers in Singapore, you can look back at the video that will be up hopefully soon.
okay.
All right. So thank you so much for your precious time, Dr. Chin. And we do hope to hear from you soon. And about your book, will it be available online as well or only
Okay,
physical?
because I put it on the Shopee, Shopee
Mm.
not delivering the book to Singapore, but my there's one Chinese book which I published last year May. I've done a lot of live, and some Singaporean followers also try to buy, but they try to arrange with me personally with my nurse. Then we will deliver via the DHL. But not the
Ah,
costly.
yeah.
Even the DHL charge RM60 more expensive than my book. So I see how to arrange in future, maybe through Medela.
Let's see, let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, but the
All
Chinese
right.
book almost finished. Yeah, we're going to do a reprint soon. But It Well, Grow Well is written in English. Should be
Mm.
available in September. We see how. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Chin.
Okay, thank you for
Yeah,
invitation, Medela, and thank you,
any,
Charmaine, and thank you
any
all
last
the parents
words?
stay until the end of my presentation. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you. Bye. All right. And thanks. So we are also announcing the three winners for the like and share. The three winners would be Emily Tong, Wong Pei Pei, and Catherine Chong. So do contact us on our Facebook page to let us know how to get your prizes to you. So do congratulations to Emily Tong, Wong Pei Pei, and Catherine Chong, and also to our three quiz winners. So do contact us on our Facebook page, and we'll let you know where to collect and when. So thanks to you viewers for watching. We will be back on the 5th of August, 5th of August with our next professional speaker. So Alpany, she spoke on Saturday, if I'm not wrong. Yes. So our next session will be with Alpany again about the myths and facts about breastfeeding. So do like and share, and like let your friends know of the next session, and also do like and follow us on our Facebook and Instagram page to find out more updates. And our next series in August will be this 5th August, Myths and Facts About Breastfeeding by Alpany. On the 15th of August, How Breastfeeding Can Affect Baby Facial Muscle by Datin Dr. Karen Fong. And also again by Datin Dr. Karen Fong on the 22nd August, How to Take Care of Oral Hygiene for Breastfeeding Baby. So do take note of these dates and stay tuned to our Medela Facebook page on Malaysia and Singapore. So good night everyone and thank you. Bye.